Good morning. This is Joel Simmons from Earthworks. I am the president of Earthworks Natural Organic Products, and as you can see, we've been manufacturing organic products and carbon-based fertility products since 1988. We've been doing it for a very, very long time. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about one of our Fairway programs, incorporating one of our products called the Replenish 822. As always, Earthworks is a complete fertility approached company. We like to build products and programs that provide not just nitrogen or N, P, and K, but complete fertility so that not only the soil, but also, of course, the plant is getting the fertility that it needs and conditioning that it needs from a standpoint of physics and ultimately biology. Earthworks is all about carbon-based fertility. Our products are carbon-based, with the intent to build a carbon to nitrogen ratio in the soil that is so important in creating sustainability. Not only by allowing the soil to allow that carbon to nitrogen ratio to grow, what that does is it allows to create sustainability. It allows the soil to release nitrogen. It actually releases its own free nitrogen, if you will, from the soil. So not only are we providing fertility elements to the soil program, but we're allowing the soil, by building carbon-based fertility base, we're allowing that soil to let microorganisms release nitrogen. Our core product line is the Replenish line. Our flagship is our 545 product. It was the first product we built back in 1988. It's still, to this day, one of the largest selling SKU products in the marketplace. It's a very complete fertility. But we also built a product called Replenish 822, in which we can create a pretty easy fertility program that's most definitely cost effective. What Replenish 822 is, it's a core Replenish compost, and the foundation of the Replenish products is a rich, coasted, air chicken manure. We use manure that's coming out of a farm called Rose Acres Farm in Seymour, Indiana, a company that produces 1.2 million dozen eggs a day. A lot of chickens, a lot of residue. Well, take that material, we compost it in a facility that we own for about 6 months to a year. The thing about egg layer compost is that it's dropped onto a cement floor, so it's very clean. There's no bedding in there. There's no stems and things of that nature. And then we're allowed to compost that. Nice thing as well about egg layer compost is that we feed the chickens calcium to build eggs. And what that does is it ends up in the manure. So not only do we have a rich mineral product, but also a very calcium-rich product that becomes very available to the plant. So that's the foundation of the entire Replenish product line. What we did with 822 is made a fairly simple product, one that actually worked very much for programs on Bermuda grasses and warm season grasses, for attic fields, fairways, for roughs. It's only put out in a standard grade formula, so it's not a greens grade product, but it's a rich composted material that's very good, very rich in ammonium sulfate. It's a great winter feed. It's a great spring up, and again, spring green up, and it's a very cost effective product. Here's what the 822 Fairway program is. First, the product is 1,400 pounds of compost, 600 pounds of ammonium sulfate. So we've got true carbon-based fertility. So a quick release ammonium sulfate, and we've got a strong foundation in carbon in that compost. Again, a carbon-based approach. So a typical program looks like is applying a half a pound of nitrogen in the spring gives us quick green up. Ammonium sulfate is a wonderful way to warm up a cold soil in the spring and give that little push. Having that carbon in there is going to give you a warming effect as well, because it's dark. It's going to create essentially a compost pile kind of an effect by allowing that carbon to work and speed microbes. That creates an energy that also warms up the summer. So the 822 in a fairway or in a rough or in an athletic field or in almost any type of situation of that nature is going to allow for quick green up in those cool spring months. Come summer, it's a great product. Late summer in aerification holes, if possible, it's a great way to get recovery. That carbon in there is going to build soil conditioning. It's going to flocculate the soil. It's going to allow that system to work, and that ammonium sulfate is going to give you a little bit of push that the plants need to get through that tough summer. The last application in this would be a winter program. Ammonium sulfate is actually a very good dormant feed material, or a winter feed material, because it will not leach the way, say, a urea might. But with all the carbon behind the 822 product, you're not getting that little soluble push, but you get that big foundation of carbon, so a perfect carbon to nitrogen balance, again in a cost-effective product line that allows for applications in these large acreage areas, and once again, all carbon-based. What we talk about when we talk in carbon-based is something that is truly digested material. The nice thing about manure coming from birds is it's gone through an animal. It's been digested. Now, not only is it digested through the bird, it's digested a second time in a composting facility. So now it's a very available carbon, as opposed to meal products or such products that are not as readily available. And we talk a lot about these good carbons because there's a big difference. As you'll see in the marketplace, there's a lot of products that are sludge-based, be it human sludge or animal sludge, materials that have gone through a pasteurization process. What happens here is that they kill the good biology, and they encapsulate the carbon. So it's essentially taking a good steak and leaving it on the grill for 5 hours and burning it to a crisp. The carbon is there, but it's readily available. It'll just sit in that soil profile. Meal products are very good raw materials. They're high in protein, but they've never been biologically digested. What we're doing is taking a meal product, feeding it to an animal, digesting it, bringing with it a lot of mineral out of the bird, putting it in a composting facility, composting it, and getting it that second digestion. So not only is it very biologically active, but it's also broken down so the bacteria in the soil that are responsible for feeding grass plants are going to be able to utilize this material very quickly. The important part of what we're doing with the Replenish product line is that we're incorporating rock minerals. Because it's gone through the bird, there's a lot of mineral in there. And remember, we grow cover crops in turf. So constantly growing a crop that is demineralizing soil. By having this big carbon/mineral base, we're not only remineralizing that foundation so the plant can grab the nutrients that it needs when it needs it, but it's also got a rich base of carbon in there. Think of it in terms of what the plant's looking at. If you look at this slide, that root hair is spitting out organic acids looking for nutrients. Looking at shadowing left and right of this root hair, that shadowing is carbonic acid. It's organic acids. The plant saying, I need some calcium, I need some phosphorus, and it's looking for it in mineral form. And it can take that acid and dissolve these minerals so that it can bring that nutrient into the plant. Simply applying synthetic fertilizers, we don't get that remineralization effect, that sustainability. By having a carbon mineral base that we get from Replenish products, we have not only a good carbon foundation to feed microbes, but we have very strong remineralization effect so that the plant can take up the nutrients that they need when they need them. Remineralization is imperative in having good, healthy turf and ability to recover when we need to recover. So the Replenish 822 is one of our stronger products. Again, it's a composted product, ammonium sulfate based, great for winter feeding, for spring green up, wonderful summer recovery product, very cost effective, a simple application to apply. And in a standard grade, easy to spread with large machines or even smaller machines, spreaders. As we always like to end our little webinars, please come and visit us at www.soilfirst.com. We have a lot of information on that website on 822, as well as a lot of other Earthworks related and technical related information. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.